Yeah, hi, good morning guys. I'll start. Okay, how many of you completed the assignment? Yes. How are completed? So that's the impact of last class. So okay, I will see the assignment as a result at the end of this session. So please remind me, okay? I will check the assignments at 11. Okay. So you knew, right? So do you have a laptop?
No, I don't have any. I'll bring it from
Or from next class you bring your machine, okay? Okay. So do you have any experience in Java? Earlier? No. You are new to it.
fundamentals of Python and I'm into Python.
Okay. Okay, fine. So today I covered most of the basics. So as of now we are in the OOPS concept. You get the notes from them, and you will get anyone share the Telegram link. From that you get the notes. Do you have any doubts? Raise. Yeah. What about others? So if I ask the assignment, no one is coming, or they will come late. They are on the way. On the okay, let's see. Okay, fine. So how many of you, while doing the assignment, how many of you guys get the error? All of you got the error. So can you tell what are the errors you got? After that, how you fixed that error? What is the understanding from that error?
The first error was in character operator, sir.
Okay.
A character operator, so it shows some errors. So on the VS Code, it like alt plus semicolon, it can auto fix it.
Okay, don't do that. Okay.
So after that, I search in Google, so I can
Okay.
later I change it.
Okay. What about you? You didn't get any error. Master. Okay. What about you?
Actually, I unable to run the code.
Unable to run the code. What is the error?
Getting this file is not showing.
File is not available.
Yeah.
Then check your directory. Maybe you are using different platform, right? Or is it VS Code?
Yes, sir.
Then definitely it will work. Else I will check this also.
I get
You
the
tried?
error, but not in the code.
Sorry.
I get the error, but not in the code.
When where you get the error?
Yes, I try to compile the code, then the file directory is not found.
File directory not found. Then you are comparing the wrong directory. You?
Just trying to.
Sorry? Tried. Did you get the output? Why? Any errors? This side? What is the error you got?
Giving that square root and power, I tried to give in switch surface,
Okay.
but it's not coming.
Okay. What is the reason did you use to first switch statement?
Sir?
For that calling the which method based on the user input.
Oh,
Okay, right. You?
Simple like bracket closing.
Okay.
so like not syntax error, like logical error for square root and
Logic level not actually. What about you?
syntax error.
Syntax
Some
error.
brackets mismatch.
Okay. Are you tried or not? Sorry? Why?
I'm not understanding how to write the program.
Okay. But do you know, right, how to create the class and other things?
Yes.
Yeah, then you try, right? Last day I show all the codes, right? If you did the base things, definitely you can, from that you can able to easily optimize time. What is the reason? Is the understanding is the issue, is the reason, or any other issues? Okay, now anyone tell the syntax for create the class? How can I define the class in Java? Tell the syntax.
Class name.
Class name.
Last declaration.
Open risks.
Okay.
Fields and
Inside variables
Variables
and values.
or else attributes and behaviors.
Yeah.
Fine. So first of all, like what about this one? Public.
Public means access modifier. Then you can
So
access
sometimes access modifier will be there, sometimes it won't. Okay. So there is a thing, a file, and let's see few more industry rules also. Okay. So what is the industry rule? Okay, so here I created the calculator, but in the industry it won't be like that. I created all the classes in the single file, right? What is the industry standard? Definitely a single file contains a single scope. That means if calculator we have, from that we inherited the two more classes. For those two more classes also, you must be create the two different files, not keep in the single file. Okay. Nowadays only it's only have the 2 lines or 3 lines code, but in future definitely it won't be. You going to optimize it. How you optimize now? Here I just hard coded the everything. I just receive only 2 inputs. But now you guys optimize, receive the multiple inputs dynamically based on the user input, right? So things will be like that. So whenever as an industry standard, if you want to create any new thing, create a one more file. Don't keep all the classes in the single file itself. Okay. Okay. So this is the syntax for creating the class. So you just note down this one. You also just note down. Okay. So for define the class, have to specify the access modifier or it's optional only. Then class name, lower bracket, attributes and methods. Okay, attributes and behaviors. It's called so far as a methods. Okay. So that's the definition for the class. Okay. Let's play some other things as well. So until now we did on console application. How many of you guys committed your code to GitHub? GitHub. Why? Is that anyone going to tell anything? Anyone's going to think about you are just a beginner like that? For your learning purpose, do you know how many years back I written this note? This is my own note. I took the notes. Just think about how many years it will be. More than 5 years I have this note. So that time actually I don't know aware of the GitHub. After that I committed all the code GitHub. If I open my GitHub profile, I can show each and everything I can show now. Definitely we are just a human being. We can't remember all the things. Definitely you guys while you are working in the new things, definitely base thing will be quite confused. Just compare your GitHub, just see your commits and commands. It will be really helpful. I will show you. I think this is last year I took the classes. Those all the notes I committed actually. Can you see is a batch? I took more than 5 to 6 batches. After that Java was completed, Advanced Java, Hibernate, Spring Boot. All the things I committed in my GitHub. If you have hesitation, don't show to others. You keep your repository as a private. It's for your own purpose only. In future, definitely I can't remember all the things available in the notes. I'm damn sure I can't remember all the things. If any time I got stuck, I can see my notes. Else nowadays everything is digitalized. We can go to here and see that. Okay. So keep that one in mind. Whenever if you are doing any single line change, just commit your code to GitHub. Okay. Let's back to our topic. 1 minute. Fine. Okay. So this time we'll play some internal things today. After that we'll see the abstract. Can anyone tell any class? Just tell any class. So what are things can I consider as a class? You know the syntax, right?
Yeah,
Can you tell any one class? What are things we can consider as a class?
as in any examples in real life or
Anything is fine. What is class?
it contains objects. It stores variables as objects.
Okay. Simple real world entities. All real world entities we can consider as a class. You want to consider this one as a class, it should be definitely have the attribute and behavior. It have the attribute, size, color, these are the attributes. And it's functionally, it's just can able to help to turn on the, what is called? Projector, simple. So I can able to do the things. So it's the behavior of this remote. So whenever if any real world entities or objects have attributes and behaviors, you can consider as a class. You can consider you also one of the class. We also have the behavior, we also have the attributes. Okay. So now tell which class we will create. Tell anyone, any of the class.
Board.
Hmm?
Board.
Board. So this is the board, and here like this is the one common term. So board means it could be any board. It's a classroom, blackboard, or a chessboard, or anything it will be. Okay. So now I'm going to create a one more class. Okay. I hope you guys understood this inheritance concept very well. I just created as a chessboard. Okay, fine. So here I nothing but let me explain again. I just created one class which is called as a board. It have just a constructor I created, default constructor. Okay. Just inside I did the some console statement as a system that out of simple, nothing but. Then I created a one more child class for that. It just derived from the my base class. Okay. So it have some attributes as called as a color, and we have one more constructor called as a chessboard. I just created a default constructor only. Apart from that, nothing else. Okay. Let's play something strange. Okay. So let me create the object for chessboard. Now, if I am while creating the object of chessboard, what would be the my expected output? I just created the object. I did nothing with that. Okay. So what could be the output here? I just analyze the code again. I will give the time. I create a one class is called as the board. Another class I create as a subclass, child class as a chessboard. After that, I created the object for the chessboard only. If I am run this code, what is the output? Can I get any output first or not?
Yes.
What? It won't be any output. Okay.
We are not calling any class.
Is it? Okay.
Or I think two outputs should be shown. Class constructor, board constructor and chessboard constructor.
Okay. What about others?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's run the code.
Board.
Compilation was successful. Can you put your silent? Let me run the code, but here, can you see, I got the two output. This is the board constructor, after that I got the output also. This is the chessboard constructor. Why that is happened? Any idea?
Because we are calling the constructor.
Okay, that is fine. I only creating for the object only chessboard, right? Chessboard constructor will be called, that is fine, acceptable. But why board constructor also called? Is that is the reason? Like let's take a real world example. Okay, if anyone calling me, can I put a conference call to my mom or my dad? Then why should I it's printing? So here internally what it happened, all the default constructor have one method is called as a super. Okay. So what is the meaning of this super? I will explain now. So let's So internally, if you are mentioned or not, all the default constructor definitely have the super method. Okay, what it will do, it will check is any parent class available for the current class. If it is available, it go to that class and execute the constructor by default. Okay, let's assume. And see one more thing, I got the first output as a, this is the board constructor, but first I called chessboard only. If that is, if I am explaining, if I am explaining that way, I definitely I want to see the output as a, this is the chessboard constructor. That could be the first line, right? But it came as a second. What is the reason? So the reason began is in how the execution flow will happen. Once you created the object for chessboard, it will came here. After that, it will execute the super method. What super method will do? It will create a, or it will tell to JVM, can you go to my parent class? And it tell the parent class where I want to go. It will tell go to the constructor. Once I this line executed, it won't. It will go to the. It come to here. Okay. Once it come to here, this board constructor. Okay. This will check. May have any parent class. As of now, I don't have. Okay. So that I can't execute any other constructor. Okay. That line was execution completed. Then it will execute the next line. Once this line executed completed, it will back to where? My chessboard constructor. Now this line executed completed successfully, right? Then execute the next line. Simple. Is there any doubt here? You are new to here.
Yeah.
So do you know any Java basics?
Yeah.
Okay. So today, like we are seeing the OOPS concept. You try to grasp it. If you have any doubts, just raise. Okay.
So yes, background. So I have knowledge.
Okay. Let's check that. No problem.
So, in the before code we did not use super, right? Now you put super and you explained us that because of super it is executing by default.
Yeah, on there. Let's execute notation.
No, before we did not use super, so how did it execute?
Yeah, internally it will, if you
Call
are
it
put or not, if you defined or not, definitely by default all the constructors have a super method. Okay. So this is the one thing. You need to explain again. Here, what is the execution flow? I just created the object for chessboard. Okay. So here it's okay. Let's back to this concept later. Now while I am creating the object, definitely constructor will be called. There is no doubt in that. Okay. I go to the constructor. By default, begin this in what will happen. First line always super method will be there. If you are mentioned or not, that is not a matter to the JVM. By default, it will be there. Okay. Once execute this super method, what it will tell to JVM? You go and check my parent constructor. So it will came here. Execute this line. Once execution completed, I don't have any parent class as of now. So execute the next line. Once this line execution completed, it return back to here and execute this line. That's why the order comes like that. First execute the board as a parent class constructor. Next execute the chessboard constructor. Clear? If you are mentioned the super or not, that is not a matter. Okay, fine. And one more thing. Okay, can you tell? Here I have the chessboard object, right? This variable. This variable contains the entire object or not? It contains the object or not? It is
assigned it an object. So it's a variable which assigned as an object. So does contain.
okay. So variable contain the object. It contains the definition. That's what you are telling.
Yeah.
I am telling wrong. It won't contain the object.
So just define.
Sorry?
So how does it work?
It's a great question. So definitely that question you have to raise whenever if you are understanding any concept. You have to raise. Okay. Just few new guys will ask games. So I just recall my 3 things. Okay. So now if you are learning the any new things, first learn what is that. Next, what is the purpose. Third one, where can I use that? Okay. then if anything happening, if you are calling the method, it executes the any new things, just understand what is the things happening behind the scene. Okay, why it does do the other things. Okay, I just created the object. Using that object, I can call multiple methods. I can access that class methods. Everything I can access. But how? What is this object really contains? Everyone knows this is just a variable. It's just can able to hold the values. It can't hold the objects. Okay. So what I am telling is just to hold the reference of that object. It won't contain the object. Is that clear? Okay, we have the memory area also. Do you have any idea about memory area? Heap and stack memory. Whenever if you are creating object, where it will be stored? Where it will be stored? Heap memory. So in the heap, if stored in the heap memory, where the variables will be stored? Variables will tracked in the stack memory. So if it is left side will be the stack memory as a variable name. Right side it won't contain the object, it will contain the reference of the heap memory. Whenever if you are creating any new object in the heap memory, it have the own memory address. It will give the reference to that variable in the stack. Simple. Okay. Okay, fine. So now chessboard dot. Can you see here? If I'm did just a dot operator, I can see so much methods. Where it will come
From the packages.
from? Okay. But I don't have any parent class. How the flow? Let's understand. What are things until now we knows. Okay. So let me close this. We'll back here. Okay. So I just have the one class. This is my starting point. Okay. This is my first class. Next I have one child class inherited from my parent class. Fine. So where the execution will start? Always start from the main method. Okay, starts fine. Until now JVM knows nothing. I have to tell which method you want to call, which one you want to process, everything I have to tell to JVM. Okay, fine. But here I am telling to JVM, let's call add method. What it will show simply? Why it's showing error? JVM didn't understand that. Simple. JVM don't know what I want to do while you are giving the definition for the add. Okay. But what about these methods? Where it is coming from? How it was coming? That's my question. Here I didn't define this kind of methods. You are telling that's coming from the packages. How the packages linked to these classes? Just to tell as a correct or wrong notation.
There are predefined and default packages.
Predefined and default, fine. But how JVM will pick that? That's my question. So predefined things equals and get class, hash code, everything is predefined methods only. Okay, fine. But how JVM get the definition of that method? How the execution flow start from the main method? Then what I did, I just created one object. Next, I tried to call some predefined methods. But these methods, where it is coming from? If I just created one package, I put in my somewhere else, JVM can able to pick it? Definitely not. Then how these things happening here? ID suggestion. No. If I call the equals method also it will work. And the toString method also it will work. If you want to see the output, you can see. This is another interesting method. We will see later. Clear? Internal thing. I just called. I didn't print that things. Let me print that value also. Compile my code. Execute my code. Some hash code was coming. So if you want proper things, let's understand this. Okay. So here what I am doing, I just calling the toString method. Okay. Can I directly print the object? Is it possible? Let's try. Compilation, execution. Still I got the same output, but this time I didn't call the toString method. That means we can come to the one conclusion. By default, if you are trying to print the object, toString method will be called. Okay. So now I want to properly. Okay. So in the chess method, we know already the concept called as the method overriding, right? Let's override the method. Okay. Instead of printing some hash code, we'll print some string value. Let's see, is it will work or not. Compilation done, execution done. So done. Now this time I didn't call any method, but I can see the output as this is the chessboard object. That's what I defined in the toString method. So that's the things we already know, override. But here, anyone noticed this is a new term for us. So what is that actually? So that is so called for annotations. Okay, what is annotation? Okay, simple. What is the purpose of annotation and what is annotation? I will explain. So annotation is nothing but it have some predefined rules. You whenever if you are doing that, if you are used annotation, you have to, it will enforce to you follow those rules. That is the one thing, and it will help to create the object. There is a multiple context to begin listening for annotation. Okay, for this context mainly, because we are human being, we are developers. We can able to do mistake. Definitely we'll do the mistake. There is no doubt in that. But while you want to avoid those kind of mistake, you can use annotation. So if you want to override the things, you have to use properly. Like here, can I use something as a different? So can you see here, like what it simply, let's run my code and just receiving on new parameter only. Just compilation, I got there. Let me extend there. What they are telling, simply they are telling, you don't have any method. Actually, you don't have any parent method. You want to override. So what it is mean? My expectation, I want to override the toString method. But if I mistakenly, if I add any parameters, if I misspell anything, definitely my expectation will be killed here. So that's why make sure you are in the correct path. That is the major purpose of the override. So here, if you are mentioned as the @ override, that is the annotation. What it will do? Tell the JVM. Definitely, what this guy going to try? He trying to override some parent method. So check any parent method available. If it is parent method not available, it will show the error in the compile time itself. Okay, you can just clear out these things. Okay, it will really helpful while you are building any new project. Okay, this is fine. Compilation. This is fine. But where these topics was started actually? What is my question? Okay, fine. Now we learned one more thing. Whenever if you are print the object, it will call the toString method. That thing we learned. Let's back to our concept. Okay. Just code dot. Here these methods are coming. Now let understand one more thing. ToString method also called. It also did the override. Then definitely it has some parent class. But here I don't see any parent class. Where I define the parent class, there is no ToString method defined here. Then where it is coming from? Any idea?
Maybe it's default.
Default. Okay. Anyone have any idea where it is coming from? Okay. If you are mentioned or not, that is not the issue. Whenever if you are creating any class, it by default it will extend from the object. For all the classes, who is the parent? Object class is the parent class. If you want to see those methods, is came here, right? This is the IDE power. You can go here and see the package code. So just if you are, that's a quite confusing thing if you are open the packages code. Okay, they will return some well structured, like some experienced people will wrote that. While you are seeing, don't hesitate. That also a human being wrote that code. It's only the big deal. Okay, it's a simple thing. Just understand. This is the class. Okay, there is no any complexity here. I can easily understand. So here they did something as this is a constructor, right? Leave it. Don't if you don't know the annotations, leave them. Not an issue. Can you scroll down? Hash code. This method also came, right? While suggesting, this method also came. There is equals method also came. There is my equals. Yeah, here is my toString method. If you want to get the clear details, why it print the some hash code? What they did actually, let's understand. They written the string value. What they are doing internally, get the class name. After that, they are adding the upgrade. Then they are printing some hexa code. Simple. That's what we first seen in our output, right? So simple. So if you want to see the package code also, you can see. You can also able to build the packages. What is
This is
that?
the packages, sir.
Sorry?
These are all the packages.
These are the packages. Now I will raise one more question. Where these package codes will come from? JVM. JVM is just a machine.
JD.
It knows nothing. Just a blind machine. Where it is coming from?
JD.
J?
JDK.
Also correct answer, but not exactly correct.
How can we able to see that packages?
Yeah, you just click your control and click any classes as a predefined classes, any method. You can go to that definition. Control, you just hover your cursor. It will go there. Okay. That is it. And where it is coming from. While I am teaching, while installing the JDK, I mentioned the three things. The first one is the JDK, another one is the JRE. What is JRE? So where it is coming from? These predefined packages, all the predefined classes, everything coming from the JRE. JVM is just a machine. It's just a baby. It doesn't know nothing. You have to feed all the things. You have to tell the things. So this is the thing you have to do. You have to do like that. You have to tell to JVM. Understood? Okay. Let's back. Now you guys understood, right? Where these methods coming from? By default, if you are creating any classes internally, it will extend from the object class. Okay? Is there any doubt in these things? Do you have any doubt? So what are the things you learned today newly? You know, so already you coming from CS background, right? What are the things you newly understood from this session?
This annotations
Okay, annotations,
and the
object reference. Okay. So whenever we are learning any new things, not only go with that. Okay, if that is working, don't let us work. Just understand why it is working actually, where it is coming from. All the question you write. Be a dumb guy, write the question and get the answer, master in that. Simple. Okay. So okay, this is the things we completed so far. Then we'll go to the one more thing. Don't do the copy paste, just type.
So what is method is
Any confusion here? Until now, I stop here. Any confusion? No confusion, right? Okay, fine. Let's back to our abstraction. Already we discussed about abstraction and interface and encapsulation. Can anyone tell the difference between these things? Because these are the three concepts will confuse and mixed together all the things. We won't get the clear idea, right? Can anyone explain, give the differentiate between each? Can you try? Yeah, so what is the difference between the abstraction and the interface and the encapsulation also?
Encapsulation is like an it protects the code. Actually,
It combines the code with object.
Okay.
And abstraction is something which hides the details from the user.
Okay.
So interface is an kind of like an abstraction, but it interacts with the machine based and user. Machine
Okay. Okay, good. So any other? Anyone want to add some few more points in that? Sorry?
Interface is a tool, sir, which will try to get the abstraction methods. And abstraction is a what we are hiding in encapsulation. That will be
How I explain that type?
encapsulation will hide the database from logic.
Okay. So you guys are telling correct only, but if you listen these answers, they won't accept actually. What they will simply consider, you guys just know the things, but you don't have any experience or any work experience. You don't have work experience, nothing, but you have worked in the code. Not only you worked in any industry or any other previous company, that is not a matter. If you are telling any answer, few keywords definitely matters. So you want to try. Right.
Encapsulation means like the data is inside us and it should be private. We can access it only to the public people.
Okay.
Abstraction is hiding the implementation, showing only the necessary details. And interface is a tool. It is used to achieve the abstraction and implementation.
And do later. Can anyone explain to me what's a local Okay. Any others? I'm not satisfied.
Interface allows the users to connect with the system, interact with the system.
Okay.
Encapsulation is encapsulating the program into classes and objects to work better.
Okay.
Abstraction is hiding all the implementation details about how the backend works and shows only the important details to users.
Okay. Close. Almost correct only.
Encapsulation means after data, having up the logic from the user. And encapsulation, abstraction is hiding the logic from the user and ensuring the necessary data from the user.
Okay.
Coming to the interface, it's a predefined, like it's just like a thing where all the methods are implemented over there, but the user can't say anything. It's just like a planner or something.
Okay. So almost you guys, what you guys told, like you and most of the things, everything is correct only. There is no issue in that. But quite clear it has to be. Like a simple encapsulation is how you are hiding the data. Simple. Then internally you hide the data and don't expose like what are the process I am doing for hiding. Okay, you are definitely we are playing with the data. There is no doubt in that. I am going to hide my data for security purpose. That's we can able to do with the encapsulation. Fine, we capture it. Next, then while we are hiding, definitely we will do some internal process, implementation logic for that hiding. If you want to hide that, those logic hiding is called as a abstraction. Then what it is called interface. Interface is called nothing but it's just a tool to achieve these things. Simple. Why? Because if you use abstraction, user will knows that like few things he can able to know. Like who is the user actually here? Whoever calls the user. End user only is called as a user or what? I told one keyword that time. Anyone remember that keyword?
Contract.
No. Quick.
Plan.
Who is the object caller? That is called as the user. It could be the real world user, it could be the programmer, it could be the another class also. So there is no nothing but the direct don't tell the as a user. Definitely that is the correct answer. We already knows the answer. But tell the exact answer what they are expecting, they have to stand their mind. Okay. Simple. Fine. So whoever caller of that object, those guys consider as a user. It could be the computer, it could be another class, it could be the any user outside real world users also it could be. Okay. So these are things as a overview. Okay. Let's see the implementation. Okay. We'll create some notes. And I gave one example also. Anyone want to tell that example? First, we will see the syntax for the abstract. Okay. So, how can I create the abstract class? Okay. Abstract keyword, class and class name, simple body. Or else inside attributes and behaviors. Sometimes attributes and one bigger behaviors also optional. Okay, fine. So here, why I have to use the abstract? Can I use the interface also? There the real question will arise. What is the purpose? Why I have to choose abstract over the interface? Why I have to choose abstract? In which scenario? I told you three things, right? What is that? And purpose, where can I use? And now we know two things. What is that and purpose? Where can I use? Tell the scenario. I explained one example, right? Simple. Like let's assume one company will be there. They are building some software products. Okay. Then how the hierarchy going to be? If they are building the new feature, what they going to be? Whoever is the product manager, definitely have the product owner, product manager, scrum master. Those guys will be there, and top of that CEO will be there. Okay. CEO have the idea. He just tell to product owner, I want this feature. Simple. He won't give the detail about that. He have to. It should be followed this kind of thing. He won't tell those kind of things. He just tell a contract. I want this feature as end of this month. Simple. So what product owner want to do? He want to implement that feature. He just receive the contract. So that time you can go with the interface. Next, that guy going to tell whom? Some developers. Okay. So that time he won't give the things like now CEO give the just a top view only, and now it's received the product owner. Some people could be the technical, some it won't. If it is not a technical guy, he just give the some clarification only. After that he won't do nothing. But once reach the senior developer, what his work, he won't do all the things. He has some definitely he has some junior developers. What he will do, he just build some base. He build the base and give to the junior developers. You want to build some base and give some abstract and give it to the junior developers. So that time you can use the abstract class. So abstract class can be some defined methods, some undefined methods also will be there. There could be the like abstract method, there could be the non-abstract method also will be there. Okay, that is the abstract. And while senior developer pass the things to junior, he will define what are the necessary things you have to do. All the things he will list out in that abstract class, give the one base setup to another guy, he will work on that. Okay, fine. So this is the syntax that will create an abstract class. Can anyone tell like? abstract what we see now. Let's take any future like simple. Let us assume. Let's forget about until the product owner level. We will come to that interface later. Let's come to the abstract first. Okay. So this time it's came to the one senior developer. Okay. What he going to do? He knows first what are the things we have to achieve. What are the tools we want to use? Everything senior developer definitely knows, and he will do all the things. Okay. Then he will define the method. Not define it. He just declare the one method as abstract. What he will explain to his junior developers, you definitely want to implement this method. Fine. Okay. So he will do some methods also. His some definition also he can give. If any complex thing, he will complete that. And if it is any base things want to get the work done from the junior developer, he just declare the method and give to the people. Okay. Okay. Fine. Here, let's come back. Now, I want to call the display info method. Is it possible? I just comment that. Is it possible? Now tell, can I able to create the object abstract class? If no, why? Why I can't create the object for the abstract class? What is the reason? Just let's see the error. Cannot instantiate the type AA line. What it is means? You can't create the object for the AA line. Why? Okay, fine. Let's assume what is the example we take? Some future we are going to implement. One AA feature we are going to implement two applications. Fine. Now I only got the idea. With the idea, if I deployed my project and give it to end user, he going to use that? Definitely he can't. Then why should I allow to create the object? Simple. Now you guys got the answer of the question, right? They are not allowing to create the object for the why question. So, then how can I create the object? You have to define what, if any abstract method available there, you have to define that abstract method. Fine. Here, do I really need to create the class also abstract? If the abstract method was there, okay, I have the class, then I created the one abstract method, okay, then it's still showing the error. Why is showing the error? What it will broke? Like I didn't mention my class as abstract. What will going to happen? So JVM, while trying to create the object for that class, JVM knows, okay, this is not abstract class anymore. That is a normal class. It will try to create the object. Object also will be created. Fine. While calling that train model, what's going to happen? Your application going to be crashed. Because I don't have a definition. Simply JVM confused. So that's why whenever if you are creating any class, inside that class, any one of method is abstract, you must be keep the class also abstract. Okay. So let me. Now my ultimate goal was I want to give the definition for the train model. Can tell any class subclass name. Quick. Okay, I'll give our application. Okay, next. instance from the A learning. Okay, this is now called for inheritance. So here I didn't do anything. What it simply shows any error. What is the error? Just try to understand the error. Sorry,
We need to
we have to implement the
AI.
abstract method. Okay, let's implement it. Okay, fine. Now I can't create the object for my abstract class, but I can create the object for my industry class. So is this going to work? Can I call my train model? Is it going to work or not? Am I did any mistake? See the code line by line.
Just we should to call that training model by industry pilot and also display.
Okay, I did that wrong already. What I did wrong. Okay, let's run the code. Java C, what is the class name? Compilation over. So I got the output prompt is hot. Then this is the A learning class. Okay, fine. That's what we are expecting. But one thing was changed here. I gave the object reference as a parent class. How it's accepting? What is happening begin this? You take that one as an assignment. Next class, you have to come up with a clear thing. You have to explain what is the things happen begin this thing. Okay. This is like a object definition is coming from the child class. How can I give the reference as a parent class? How is it possible? Don't tell that is a rule that is possible in Java. Don't tell those kind of answers. How JVM understands that one? Tell that point of view.
Super method.
Super?
Super method is default.
That is default. That is calling the constructor. That is fine. But I can create the object for that A learning, right? If it is called the constructor also, that constructor will be there. But while calling the constructor itself, it will broke. Can't create the object. Then how? What is the purpose of calling the constructor? Okay, try to find the answer for that. Okay. So now what we completed so far, we completed the abstract implementation. Now we have the clear idea about the OOPS concept. Most of the OOPS concept we covered. Okay, like can anyone summarize the OOPS concept? What are the concepts we saw until now? Forget. Classes, object, encapsulation, interface. I didn't implement. I just give a
Theory part.
Okay, fine. Next,
Abstraction.
abstract was done now. Sorry, inheritance, polymorphism.
Polymorphism only one definition.
That was the most of the concept. Okay, fine. So these are the most of the OOPS concept covered now. Okay, so we'll see the interface, not now. Okay, so can I do one more thing? So what is the issue? Like while I'm creating the object, what we are mainly asking, you didn't give me the definition of that. Okay, so let me try this thing. It could be quite crazy. This is the definition, right? Just to copy the definition. Instead of creating of this time, we try to create for A learning itself. Is it going to work? Then if it will work, Why? Is there any complication here? You guys just understood, right? What I did. Okay, let's revert my code. This is a subclass. For child class, I created the object. Let understand what child class will do here. I just call the constructor. So that means the entire object will come here. Let's copy the entire class itself. Not needed. Fine. Okay, this is the thing only I done right. So if I call that constructor, definitely go to that class definition of that, then it will create the object. Okay, fine. Then I will remove some unnecessary things. So these things not required. Why it is not required? Why? Because this is called as an anonymous class. What is anonymous? It doesn't have the name. Okay, simple. It doesn't have name or where it is coming from. Nothing we don't have. So here, what is the error? I don't have the definition for the train model. That is the error, right? If I give the definition, definitely it's going to work. Simple. That's the thing I only did here. So whenever if you are going to learn any advanced level concept and just compress the 5 lines code into the single line, just understood how the things come from premises to advanced. Okay, base to advanced, how the things transform, that you guys must know. Okay, then we'll play all the things. That is not a big deal. If you want to create some other methods also, it's not a big deal now. You guys understood, right, what I did? Simple. Okay, always just to focus on the premises legacy method. You just understood the legacy and what is the purpose. They transform the legacy to advanced one. Okay, let me run the code. Abstract. Now it is also working, so there is no issue in this. Okay, then let me give the one quick overview about thread. Okay, so what is called as a thread? Is there any doubts in this session? No? Clear?
Sir, can you tell about one more time?
One more time. Okay. Here I can able to create the object for the industry pilot. Fine. Why? Because that is a class and implemented the abstract method also. Okay. Instead of doing that, can I copy paste that entire class? This one only I am doing, right? When calling this, trying to create the object, this one only I am doing. Just copy paste that method, class method. That entire class I just copy paste. Okay. Let us assume here I am going to give the definition why I should still using the inheritance concept. No need. Just remove that. And here you have just mentioning this is the class, right? But here you have to call the constructor. Just mention as a constructor. What is constructor? Just a special method, same as a class name. Simple. Done. Okay.
So before when we tried to create an object for the same abstract class, was it it did not run? Was it because we did not define the train
I
model?
didn't give the definition of the train model.
So we just created a train model method and we did not define it.
I gave the definition for that. So what is the definition? How you guys going to understood? I gave the definition or not? Now it will show the error. Why? Because I didn't give the definition. Definition is nothing but if you want to give the definition for this one.
So if we just give the definition here, it will create a object.
It can able to create the object. So it's just curly brace in the sense it's the definition. There is no need to mention also inside any executable lines. So if this is, there is no abstract method, there is no keep my class also abstract. Now I can create the object. If you want to run my code, I can run. Run it. Fine. Same. So this is fine. Let's understand the new things. Okay. So this time let me run my code as a debug mode. Here, leave these variables as of now. Come to the call stack. So, okay. So I hope you guys knows the debug mode. Okay, here they are mentioning something called as a thread. What is thread? Smallest unit. Where?
Execution.
Smallest unit of execution. Absolutely correct. Then what is the difference between thread and process? Okay, before going to that, we have some other keywords also have the confusion. Simultaneous, concurrent, parallel. Anyone have a clear difference? Anyone knows? Do you have any idea? Okay. Do you want to try? This is a common time only, not as a developing time. I am not asking any programming time. Just try to answer for me. Do you want to try? Yes, right or wrong, it's not a big deal. Tell. Who wants to try? Raise your hand. Everyone knows that. What is the difference between the concurrent, parallel, simultaneous?
Simultaneous means at a time.
At a time. Then parallel. Then concurrent.
Concurrent is one after the other.
Okay. Good. Parallel. Just name itself, try to give the answer. And I will give one more interview tip, okay? So if any interviewer asks anything, first just understand if they are asking about the abstract. Just to get the what is the meaning in the English first of all. What is the name itself? What is the meaning for that? Just to give the just one liner. If you don't know the exact thing, just to give the one liner. If you want to move forward, I can learn in future endeavors like that you tell. Okay, if you didn't know the things, but you knows the meaning of that word, based on that word only you can do. But if they are asking any implementation, that's up to you. You have to manage. Okay, so while you are telling, I had just aware of it. So this is the things, but I didn't get a chance to work on those concepts more like that you tell. Okay, fine. So now back to the things: simultaneous, concurrent, and parallel. Okay, concurrent is nothing but just to keep your one word in your mind: managing. Concurrent is just a managing. Okay, fine. Next, parallel. Parallel is executing. Okay, then simultaneous, things happening in the at a time, same time. So no milliseconds difference. Okay, let's give the clear idea. Concurrent is nothing but you have only one process. Okay, let's assume I am the only one guy. I have to speak. I have to do the code. This is a concurrent process I am doing. I am not doing while I am speaking itself. I won't code. I am just acting like that. While I am teaching itself, I will do coding. I am just acting. But it's not a real. If I am going to type, my mouth will be shut. Okay, I won't speak any other words. So that time, sometime will talk. That time my finger won't type anything. So that is the concurrent process. I am just managing the two things. I am not executing the two things same time. Then simultaneous.
At a time. Talking as
Doing
well
the
as
things at a time.
coding.
At a time. It could be the multiple resource. Same resource definitely not possible. Definitely we need a multiple process. Then what is a parallel? Here, first understand the parallel. Parallel is nothing but you have the two resources. Like let's assume he is coding, I am just explaining. So that I am parallelly explaining, he is parallelly coding. There is no dependency. No, there is no need to. I want to go there and type the code. My word is just to give the overview. He will do the code. So that is a parallel. You have the multiple resource. Do your multiple jobs. That is a parallel. Then what is simultaneous? Simultaneous is just one of the subset of the parallel. If both things happening the same time, that is a simultaneous. Is there any doubt? Okay, fine. Okay, why I explained those things, that is a really important term in the thread. Okay, so here can you see? Here they mentioned as a thread. So where the execution will start in Java? Main? No. Can you tell? What is that? Main? What you told? Huh?
Main method.
Earlier?
Is it?
Don't mess up with the keywords. In Java there is no functions. Okay, it's only methods. Make sure don't mix up the keywords. You have to clear in the each keyword. If you are any keyword come from your mouth, you have to know the meaning. Then you think. Fine. So always execution start from the main method. Fine. Then how the things was executing? Like whenever if you guys going to buy any system laptop, they will mention as a 16 core, 16 thread, 18 thread. What is the meaning? We are just knows if it is a more thread, that is a good machine. But we don't know exactly what is the purpose of the thread, right? The purpose of the thread, it can be able to do the parallel work. Each thread can do the things. Okay. If you have the more thread, like let's take one task. Again, I want to open my browser and go open my YouTube. This is my task. While I am opening, multiple threads will run begin the scene. One will trigger the request to server. Another thread will receive the request and process it and give the UI. So all the threads will process. Each thread is a single unit of the process. That how I am opening and the utip, that is so called first the entire process. Inside that process, running the process. Okay, it will simple. But I am just confusing the things. Okay, we have the one process just opening the utip in the browser. Okay, inside that so many things have to done. You have to open the browser, then request will go to the server, return back to, and then you have to show the UI. Everything you have to do. Let assume in your system you have only one guy, only one worker. That worker have to do. If you open the things, it receive the request. Request will go to the, until now screen will be blank. Nothing will be there until the request sent, get the response. There is no action. It not even open the UI also. So what happening that time? Another thread open the UI. This thread once got the response, give to this response to another thread, it will show the response. Simple. So thread is a smaller unit of the process. Okay, fine. Here I can receive the thread. Okay, then what is the purpose of the thread? You want to do your process as an efficient manner, you can go with the thread. But you have more careful about that. While you are playing the thread, there is a possibility you can crash your entire system. Okay, but this is not a Java, this is not a C language, this is a Java. But if you are get a chance to work with the C language, you can able to crash your entire system. That is possible because C can able to communicate directly hardware. There is no middleware needed. But our all the system middleware is the OS. OS only can communicate it to the hardware. Okay. So, but C language that is not necessary. It has the power to communicate the hardware directly. So that's why most of the embedded system built in C. Okay. So that is out of topic. Let's back to here. Okay. So here is a thread. So now we got the clear idea about the thread concept and purpose also we know. Where can I use the thread in Java? Exception. Okay. Okay. Any other answers? Where do you want to use the threads?
When we are working on the
Can you tell any real world example?
yeah, when we are working on the use project,
Use project. Okay.
your use classes.
Okay.
Faster execution.
Sorry.
Faster execution.
Faster execution.
This done in compiler.
Okay. Or we can do.
It's a process. Actually, it's a entire process contains threads, multiple threads.
Hmm.
So when the process starts, it starts from compiler.
Okay. But if you didn't specify the threads itself, like you didn't go with the threads, like everything is running the single thread. Okay, inside that another thread will be triggered. But you guys just understand the things, you must know the how you can handle the thread. Okay, and you also can able to create the thread and trigger the thread. Okay, let's assume some real world example. Okay. So I have the application. Okay. Now user giving some input. I want to store their data. Then future if they want to, they can see that. Let assume I have the two database. Okay. Definitely most of the project definitely have 2 or 3 projects for different purpose. Okay. Now our project also we have actually general term only. Okay. First I receive the input. while I am storing the input to my primary database. Until that time, I can able to tell my user, you just wait some time, I am processing your data. I can do that. But some other internal purpose, I am putting the data into my another database. For that time also, do I need to wait? Do I need to tell the user, you have to wait? I have to complete in another database entry also. They definitely won't accept. Okay, there is a two concept behind the scene. One is the background work. Okay, that is the one concept. Then another concept is while you are doing this, while you are putting the entry in the first primary database, you can put the entry in the another database also. Parallelly, you can do via third. Okay, we can see in the implementation later. Okay, so just I will stop here. We'll see the real implementation. How you want to use the real threads. What is the purpose? Everything we'll see. Okay. So is there any doubts for today classes? Okay, show your assignments quickly. So, I told this also you get from the user.
Input also, sir.
Make it two variables. Are you trying?
Sir, the
Output not to try, I can understand from the words. Where are you incorrectly? React alert. Where your class was created inside the Java. Go to Java and understand? CD space CD space Java JVD hit enter. Now you want the code, it will work. You are new. Are you trying? You are only receiving the tool. I told it should be dynamic. Then you have to receive the array values and process it correctly. So here you are receiving the things like this. But keep it, I will explain the system. Sure, if there is error also fine. This is I told make the things as a dynamic, right? That is a dynamic thing. Okay, good. Next time come on to the backend. There is an error in your code, not a file. If now it can able to recognize the file, check that particular line. So this is the things I done, right? What you done? I gave the things as a receiver dynamically. But it won't be like that. I will. Are you right? Okay. What about the dynamic thing? But again, you are not pressing the dynamic thing. You are using the input function, but input the length also you have to use. I didn't get it. You just receive the things from the user. How many things you want to give, store into the array, and give to the array to addition method, and then do the addition. There is no false. Good. So that time you just enforce the user. You have maximum give only one.
Here it will ask for enter the values. Like first it will ask how much values you want. It is a stated, it will copy only and one.
You are still designing my code. This is only processing into two values. Receive the multiple values. Give the weightage to the user. Give the access to the user. How many values you want to do the sum or do the subtraction. Is that simple? Right? This is fine, but here you don't get the first number, second number. Use get the from the user. How many numbers user want to give? If it is 5 numbers, you wait until 5 numbers get from the user. I will share this.
We can't understand. Yeah, if you put in the telegram or like.
Okay, I will share the telegram. You are giving the product. That's also let user decide how many values you want to do. So first you get the length, how much values you want to process. She want to process. Okay, I want to process 5 values. Wait until the 5 inputs store into the array and do the sum. So give me So fine. If you new guys also came here, so try it out. So what I told mainly, I just build one calculator. From that I have some subclasses also. Okay, but here the things was limited. My future have some limitation only. It can only receive the 2 inputs, do the sum, 2 inputs, do the subtraction, 2 values for the multiplication and 1 value for power and square root. But this time power and square root leave it. That is the maximum thing we can do. But addition, subtraction, multiplication, we can able to do the multiple values. So let user decide. Okay, how many values he want to process. He want to process the 5 values. Let them give the 5 values. If they want to process the 10 values, let them do. Okay. So while you are doing, you just use the concept is called as array. Fine. First, the flow should be just ask the user what the things you want to process. Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Based on that, tell the user. Now give me the length of how many values you want to process. Receive the value one by one. Then store into the array. Send the array to the definition method and do the sum, do the subtraction, do the multiplication. Pakka? Okay. So do like this. This is the code for base things. So today I am really happy. So most of the guys tried and most of the guys completed what I expected. That is really nice. So definitely you guys, definitely you guys get so many errors, and after clearing all the errors, got the input in the console, that things will be totally different. Okay, that will change your mind. I am not a beginner and a junior anymore. Okay, keep it like that. We'll see the rest of the things in upcoming sessions. Yes, really good job guys for all of you. Thank you.